Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 21 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Chris Feltz. Chris, thank you so much for the support. We really appreciate it and could not do this without you. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day like Chris, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, honestly guys, like the last day of feeds has taken years off of my life. I cannot believe how awful some of these people are. I know it's a game, but like the way that they treat others is just disgusting. Okay, so let's get into it. When we left off yesterday, the Chaos Activity Comp was in progress. The players were Christy, Jess, Sis, and Nick. So the feeds went down for a few hours for that. And when they came back, the house guests were all talking about the competition. So apparently it was a timed word puzzle. I don't know if they had 20 minutes or 30 minutes. I'm not sure on that. But the puzzle pieces were like under a bunch of cockroaches. Again, when will they stop using live animals and insects in competitions? Not okay. Especially because Christy said she kept trying to punch the cockroaches and the handlers had to be like, hey, don't do that. And yes, she actually killed some. Cool, great, good job. That's so upsetting. So apparently they had clues to help them figure out the phrase, don't meet Julie on eviction night. Yeah, and it sounds like Christy and Jess were the only ones that actually finished the puzzle within the time limit. So people were then suspecting that maybe Jess won the competition because she kept changing her story. She kept saying like she did finish it and then she would say that she didn't. Like it was very wishy-washy. So they were like, oh, she must have won. So Sam, Nick, and Bella were in the HOH room and Sam says we should not tell Jess that she's the pawn this week because at this point Cliff is the target, but they maybe don't want Jess to know that because if she doesn't feel safe, maybe she'll use her power and they can flush that one out if she has it. But Nick confirms he is still planning on putting up Cliff and Jess, and they're shocked that nominations are that same day as Wactivity. Where have you been? And have any of these people actually watched the show before they were cast? I mean, really. So anyway, Jess and Nick are chatting in the treehouse because he's like, oh, I guess I have to talk to people because nominations are coming up. So Nick says, oh, I didn't even have time to talk to anyone. I didn't have time to think about noms. Yeah, you did. It's called last night. But Nick says he's thinking about putting up Cliff because he thinks that he's America's player because he's always carrying around Orwell the owl and like one of their cutting knives went missing and somebody's hat went missing and like he's putting this all on Cliff being America's player. Nope. But Nick says, I don't trust him. I want him out this week. So then he says, as far as the other nominee goes, he thinks that it would be easiest to put up somebody who's already been nominated. So he says, that leaves you and Kat. So if I do pick you, you're gonna be safe because Cliff is gonna be the one going this week. He's talked a lot of shit and we heard about it. So Jess says, I'd hate to go up 2 weeks in a row. And Nick is like, I wouldn't put you up if I didn't know that Cliff is going, so you don't have to worry. And he says that Cliff has been saying he wants to break up the showmances, and obviously Nick is in a showmance. Yeah, we all know. So Cliff is the biggest threat to him right now. So then Nick says, I would not put your game in danger. I would not trust Nick with anything. Okay, so meanwhile, Christy and Tommy are in the target bedroom, and Christy reveals to him that she won the Chaos Activity power, so they're celebrating quietly, they're all excited, and she lets him know it is the Diamond POV. So she can use it at any of the next 4 power veto ceremonies. So it doesn't last as long as some of the other powers, but it's definitely one of the more powerful ones. So she says that she can activate it anonymously, but then Jack busts in before she can explain the rest to Tommy. But I mean, we know that with the Diamond POV, you can take somebody off the block and you get to name the replacement nominee instead of the HOH. So it's a pretty big deal. So when Jack comes in, he starts complaining about how Bella makes everything about herself. Apparently, during HOH lockdowns, like when they're waiting for competitions to be over. It sounds like they share a lot of personal information that they wouldn't if the feeds were on. So it sounds like Bella like tries to hijack that every time, and he says he doesn't want to discredit her story. She's got this story about like a traumatic event, like a sexual assault or something, which is awful. But he's like, you know, she keeps talking about it. She's always talking about her childhood, and like I feel bad for her, but like everybody's got their shit. So he's had enough of that. Jeez. So then back to the game, Jack tells Tommy that he won the second activity power, and Tommy already knew that. Christy told him, but he's pretending he didn't know it. He's just like, oh my god, that's so exciting. So I just want to note here, Christy does not tell Jack about her power. She's playing it off like Jess has it. Ouch. Alright, so then the feeds go down for the nomination ceremony, and as expected, Nick put up Jess and Cliff. But woo, there's a storm a-brewing. Okay, so we didn't know what exactly was going on at first. I'm gonna have more details. I like to keep things in order for you guys, but apparently, just to give you a little briefing before we get into all the other stuff. Apparently, Nicole talked to Bella before nominations. This conversation was not on feeds. They were showing 2 other things instead of this. And she told Bella what all the other couples were saying about her and Nick last week, about how they wanted Nick and Bella out and they were planning on potentially making a move there. No. Why would you put your trust in Bella? Oh, I know that Nick is the HOH, so like everybody's kissing their butts, but oh my god. Honestly, if I was Nicole, I probably would have just tried to like survive this week and then let the couples go after each other, because a lot is gonna change once the camp comeback is over. But oof. I mean, I give her props for trying to look out for herself and her friends, but like, ugh. So she's trying to get Nick and Bella to target the other couples, but the timing was off. Bella and Nick suck, so I mean, not a good idea. So when the feeds came back after the nominations, Bella was already spilling this information to Tommy, and Tommy says, Nicole's playing both sides. So they start going all of the things that they've heard from Nicole. Sam and Nick are also there contributing to the conversation, and Tommy says, well, Nicole said that Bella and Nick, you guys were bullying her. And Nicole tells you guys that she doesn't trust Jack, Jackson, Holly, Sis, all them, and she tells them that she doesn't trust you. I am so disappointed in Tommy and Sam, because like I thought that they were pretty cool before, but they were contributing a lot to these anti-Nicole conversations, and I mean, it got really nasty at times, and it's just upsetting. Like, I'm not surprised by the others, but I thought that they were cooler. So anyway, I guess when that pack mentality kicks in, ugh. Alright. So then, Sam is talking about how Christy approached him the other day, this is true, and said, you know, Nick and Bella are doing too much. They're at a 9, they need to take it down to a 6, and they're trying to make deals with Nicole and Kemi. Alright, all this shit's coming out now, so things are about to pop off. The rest of Grateful starts to file into the HOH room, and as they're all coming in, David tries to go into the HOH room. They turn him away, and they're like, oh, we're talking games, so could you, like, leave? Which is messed up. And then right after, Jackson comes in, but that's okay. So freaking rude. So then Bella starts sharing, she's got everybody's attention, which she loves. She starts sharing what Nicole told her right before nominations began. So she says that Nicole told her she had a talk with Christy, Holly, and Sis the other day, and they told Nicole that Nick and Bella were bullying her. And Christy, Holly, and Sis are all like, oh my god, like they have this huge reaction like, that's not true. They claim that Nicole was the one that said she was being bullied. That is a lie. That is bullshit. I clearly remember Holly calling Nick and Bella bullies. The others agreed. And if you look at Online Big Brother, it was even in one of the titles for one of their posts. So yeah, they're covering their own asses right now and putting it on Nicole. So then Bella's telling them the origin of Nicole's Zing Alliance, because, you know, that was outed with Cliff's Cliff Notes, and that was something that they talked about, but nobody really cares about that as much because there's nothing in there that they have to deny, so they're just like, oh, whatever. So then they all start spewing things that Nicole has said to them, and these things that Nicole has said to them are true, but when they hear them come out, the accused person then starts rewriting history or just straight up denying it, or, you know, saying Nicole's a liar, or turning it around on her and saying she, like, manipulated the words. But these are all true things that she shared with them that they said about each other. So then they were talking about how Nicole said that Nick and Bella kept cornering her and interrogating her about who she would nominate if she won HOH, and Nick and Bella are like, that's ridiculous, it's so stupid. But at the time, I remember, I think it was that same night, Nick and Bella admitted to the others that they were pushing Nicole really hard and grilling her. So yeah, you were pretty much interrogating her, but now they're claiming it's ridiculous. So then they all keep talking loudly. I mean, they were using some like raised voices. They were all talking over each other, and they would like have these huge outbursts when they were accused of something because they had to put some energy behind it so it would look like it wasn't true. They would like stand up. They were so hyped up they couldn't even sit down. So then Cliff comes up to the room. They turn him away. And then, you know, they're all giddy and excited, sharing all the things that Nicole has said. Okay, do they believe their own lies or what? Or are they sitting there like, oh my god, I'm actually getting away with this, it's working? Because, I mean, they're all lying to each other. It's insane. So then Bella asks, how do you think Kemi came to the conclusion of dropping me and Nick's names, like, during her eviction speech? Are you serious? Maybe because you screwed her over in the same way? So they're blaming Nicole for everything now. So some of them, like Christy, are like, okay, let's get Nicole up here. Let's talk about it with her. You know, let's confront her. And then some of them are like, no, we can't bring her up with everybody here because it'll be like we're all attacking her. And then it'll be like we actually are bullying her, like she's saying. So then Annalise is calling Nicole a dumb bitch and says that she's gonna go off on her. Yeah, okay. I feel like Nicole would talk circles around Sis if they got into an argument, because Sis is always like, I'm not good with my words. Alright, so then Jackson sees Nicole walking up on the spy cam, you know, up to the HOH room, and he excitedly goes to the door and opens it. She's standing right here, and he says, bad time, and lets the door close in her face, and they're all like like they're so excited about it. It's so messed up. So then Nicole's like, okay, so she starts walking back like she's gonna go downstairs, and then she sees Jack walking up because he was the only one from that group of 9 that wasn't in there at the time. So he's walking to the HOH room. She starts also walking back to the HOH room, but when she gets there, Jack closes the door again in her face and locks it without even saying anything to her. These people are trash. Like, not even trash, 2 syllables, trash. So messed up. So they continue to talk about how Nicole was playing both sides, and they just continue to deny all these things that they actually did say about each other. It's so, like, oh my god, it was so frustrating to watch. I know a lot of you guys watch the feeds yourselves, and then you come here and you know, like, see, you know, how it lines up and everything, and you just like to hear me talk about what was on the feeds, whatever. And I hope that you agree, like, it was really messed up. But for those of you who don't watch the feeds and you just listen to what I'm saying, I promise you, I don't even know what to say. These people were so awful that I wanted to like punch a wall. It was that bad. So let's check in downstairs. They're wondering what the hell's going on upstairs because it sounds like there's a really heated discussion happening. You know, every few minutes they'll hear yelling, but then they'll hear laughing, so they're like, what the hell is this? And some people are being turned away at the door, so what's going on? And Nicole, after having the door slammed in her face twice, is pretty pissed. She's like, I am not a child. How dare they treat me like that? So she says she knows exactly what this is about. So she was telling Kemi and Jess what was up. She says, you know, I went to Bella before the nomination ceremony. I find out that these people, meaning like Jack and Jackson, wanted me up on the block. They were trying to get Nick to put me up. So she told Bella she was not the rogue vote and that Nick and Bella are focusing their attention on the wrong people when those assholes all want Nick and Bella out. She's the best. And it's true. So then she says, you know what, Bella's probably approaching them all right now, and that's why they're all like hyped up and yelling and shit. Yeah. Just as a side note, wouldn't it have been better for Nick and Bella to keep this information to themselves? Pull in Nicole. Pull in Nicole's crew, like Cliff, somebody who's gonna be coming back from Camp Comeback, and then like build up their own side so that they can go after the other couples. I feel like that would have been a lot smarter, but the second that Bella and Nick get any new information, they're like they don't know what to do with it. They just have to like tell everybody, and it's really stupid. I think they made a huge mistake. I think Nicole made a huge mistake telling Bella and trusting her, and I think Bella and Nicole and Nick made a huge mistake telling the other side about it. A lot of mistakes happening here. So Nicole's like, no offense, but have the balls to let me in the room. And she can only imagine what's being said about her up there. I know, girl. All right, so, you know, they can all hear the raised voices from downstairs, but Jess is like, I didn't even know anyone was in the HOH room. Really? She really gets me sometimes too, just because she never seems to know what's going on, and I feel like she's really siding with the wrong people. She's like still trying to work with Jack and Jackson, and ugh. Okay, but Nicole says that she's gonna be pissed if this blows up on her because she has done nothing but tell the truth. Upstairs, they're all laughing and hugging because they've gotten a lot of their Nicole stuff out, and they're excited that they've like figured this out and they've pinned all the lies on her. And Nick says that Nicole is going this week. He is planning on, you know, nominations are done now, but they have the veto, and he wants her to go up on the block and out. So Ovi decides he's had enough of this. So he's walking up to the HOH room, and Cliff is like, Ovi, protect your game. So Ovi arrives at the HOH door. Those turds don't even open the door to talk to him. They're like, Ovi, no, no, Ovi, no. And Ovi yells through the door, you know, I don't think any Camp Comebackers really care about coming in here. And Jackson says, it doesn't matter, we're having a conversation. So Ovi says, okay, well, I just want to let you know, I don't think it's cool for you to do that to Jess, Nicole, and Cliff, you know, to keep them excluded and not let them in the room. I don't think that's really nice. So Bella says, well, it's not really your say, so, and that's it. So then they're all like, thanks, Ovi, and they like dismiss him, and he walks away. So then after that, Christy is squealing with delight because she has a story to share with them. Before the nomination ceremony, remember I said Christy, Tommy, and Jack were all talking, and they were talking about like Jack's power and stuff. So Ovi comes into the room, and they try to kick him out of the room because they're like, oh, we're having a game talk, and you're Camp Comebacker, so you can't be in here. Okay, thanks, bye. So Ovi has had enough of that. I can imagine that is very frustrating. So he basically tells them, look, somebody's gonna be coming back from Camp Comeback, and that's gonna be me. So, you know, there are other people who are talking game with me, so if you wanna like potentially work with me when I come back, you might want to start including me in some game conversations. And I was like, damn, who is saying this, right? So then Christy's like, she says, you know, if you feel that way and you think that everybody should be including you guys in game talk, you can get all of the camp comebackers together and you guys can call a house meeting and we could do a revote on the whole like no game talk rule. This is a democracy. Oh my god, this stupid rule is so annoying. They are using like democracy to cover up like them being assholes, I feel like. I don't know. Maybe I'm not saying that right. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Like, they're all a bunch of sheep. I'm just losing my mind because these people are like killing my brain cells. Okay, so anyway, back to this HOH conversation. They all do a giant group hug. They want to try and come up with a new name for the 9. Why not just Grateful and Sam? Sam knows that he wasn't part of the original alliance. So first they choose Not Falling for Your Shit. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue. But then, you know, they're all circled up and they all yell in unison, Not Falling for Your Shit. Yeah, because the first thing that you want to do when you officially form your alliance is meet during the middle of the day. Everybody knows you're in there and yell your new alliance name. That is so arrogant and messed up. So then they decide, no, that's not gonna be our name. They change it to Undeniable 9, and then they try to make it all cute by calling it like Undeniable. And then they shout, that one. You know what I would call it? Not Gonna Last Past This Week. Or like BuzzFeed's list of the 9 worst people in the house. Something like that, because I think that's a little bit more realistic. Woo! Alright. So everybody, you know, disperses from the room for now. David is in the storage room with Christy, and David jokingly asks her, what did you do to Ovi? What happened there? And Christy says, we didn't do anything to Ovi. She's very defensive about this. She says, we were all collectively talking game, and we told him we were talking game. You can't take that personally. You know, you're camp comebacker. So then Jack comes in, and Christy, again, is saying how she told Ovi, if you guys don't like the no game talk rule, you can all get together and call a house meeting. This is democracy. So Christy says they were really turned off by the way that Ovi approached them earlier, and that's why they shut him down, because he was like threatening them that he wouldn't work with them if he came back into the game. Oh my god. So then they're telling David, oh, what you're doing is perfect. Ovi should have kept his mouth closed. He ruined it for himself. They really do treat the camp comebackers like they're like less than, and it's so not cool. So then Christy leaves. Ovi comes in. I'm pretty sure Ovi overheard part of that conversation, but he's asking Jack to talk, and it was like super awkward because Ovi's just like, is everything okay? Like, he doesn't know what was being discussed upstairs, so he doesn't know if they were upset about what he said before nomination ceremony or what's going on, and Jack is just being an asshole, and he's just like, yeah, you're fine, you're fine. So then Nicole comes in, and she's asking, like, am I ever gonna find anything out about what you guys were talking about up there? And he's like, I don't know, I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Alright, so then it's just Nicole, David, and Ovi in the storage room. David is trying to give her advice. He's telling her, you just have to go out there and act like nothing happened for now. Because if you try and ask them for information, they're just gonna talk more about you, and it's not gonna end well. So, like, pick your battles, pick your one-on-ones. You know, don't let this get to you. So then Nicole leaves, and David starts giving Ovi advice. He's like, dude, do not let the emotions get to you. You know, when he went up to the HOH room, of course, he was upset about the way that they were treating Jess and Cliff and Nicole by not including them. But he's like, that was an emotional reaction. You really got to control that. Again, smile when you don't want to smile. You know, you got to play the game here. And Ovi's like, yeah, you're right. So yeah, there were a lot of pep talks going on. Cliff was pep talking Nicole. And then, cut to Holly and Jackson. They are laughing in the Target bedroom about how they just dodged a bullet. So Jackson's like, did I play it off well? And Holly's like, did I? So yeah, they're laughing and feeling like they just got away with murder. because everything that they were saying against Nick and Bella just came out in front of them, and they were able to get away with it and pin it on Nicole and say that she was a liar. So yeah, they feel like they just freaking dodged a bullet. So they say Nicole was playing both sides of the house for sure, but what she was saying was true. So Jackson says he's not gonna push the rogue vote anymore because he doesn't need that, you know, coming back to him, and Nicole's already got a huge target on herself now, so it all worked out for him. Blech. All right, so then this is where it gets pretty messed up. The Unlikable Nine reconvene. Do you like that name? The Unlikable Nine reconvene in the HOH room, and they continue to trash talk Nicole and rewrite history. So Bella's like, who the F does this girl think she is? And then Bella says, let me understand how karma works. Oh honey, you're gonna find out. But anyway, in the game, she says Nicole, when she was talking to Nicole before nominations, Nicole pointed to her bracelets that she was wearing and said that she swore on her grandmother's life, like that she did not have the power, she wasn't the rogue vote, blah, blah, blah. And Bella says, I just feel really nauseous about it. And then Christy says, oh, you know why she did that? Because her grandmother passed away 3 years ago, and she's talked about how it was the hardest moment of her entire life, and her grandmother raised her. So they're all saying, oh my god, I can't believe she did that. She's disgusting. She's a manipulator. Leave her grandmother's name out of your disgusting mouths, okay? So we'll come back to that, but everyone sits down for dinner together except for Nicole. She was in the diary room. I think that was good because I would not want to be sitting at the dinner table with all them. So anyway, Cliff is asking, can we do a gratitude circle? Oh, and just like the fakeness. I couldn't even listen to what these fake asses had to say. It was bleh, vomit inducing. So then after dinner, Nick is in the HOH room with some of the Unlikable Nine. Not everybody was there, but he says that he would like the veto used on Jess because he wants to put up Nicole. He says Nicole is the target, but you know, if any kind of miracle happens or something for Nicole, they could still get rid of Cliff, and that would be a win for them. So Jack is like, yeah, I mean, Cliff, he's not really that big of a threat. He's confessing his entire game plan every morning. And Bella's like, oh yeah, when I told Nicole that, she like made a face and then tried to laugh it off. So Jack and Jackson are like, what? They are shook to find out that Bella told Nicole about Cliff's talks that they have overheard. Enjoy working with Big Mouth Bella and Nick. So they're like, wait, Cliff knows now that we know everything? And she's like, yeah. Woo! Alright, meanwhile, Nicole is telling Kemi the whole timeline of the day, everything that happened from her point of view, which I tend to believe more than Bella's. Sorry. So she says, I was talking to Bella before nominations, and Bella told me that Jack and Jackson were pushing for me to go up on the block because they thought that I had the first activity power and that I was the rogue vote. So Nicole says she swore on her grandmother's grave that she did not have the power and she did not do the rogue vote. There's a huge difference between grandmother's life and grandmother's grave, right? So Nicole says she felt like she could really trust Bella in that moment, and she told her about all the other couples targeting Nick and Bella, etc., all the stuff. And then Bella turned around and told them everything that she said. So Nicole's like, I don't know why she did that, because Nicole could have easily been a fourth number for Nick, Bella, and Sam. Yup, they're dumb. They are dumb. But Nicole's really pissed about the way that they closed the door in her face. She just feels really disrespected about that. She could understand, like, game-related stuff, but that's just, like, disrespectful on a human level. So then a few quick tidbits. At one point, Sis, Christy, and Tommy were chatting, and the girls are saying they still want Cliff to go this week, not Nicole, because Nicole doesn't have anyone at this point. She's already got a huge target on her back, Ovi could come back into the game with the power, and they're really afraid of him teaming up with Cliff again. And let's be real, Christy has wanted Cliff out since the second she heard her name come out of his mouth. He is the only one that she knows of, and that I've even heard really talk about her as a potential target and talk about how close she is to Tommy. So yeah, she wants him out. So then Ovi also joins them at one point, and he like apologizes for what he said earlier. It wasn't really clear if he was apologizing for like the pre-nominations conversation when he was like, you need to start talking game with me, or the HOH thing at the door, or both. I don't know, but I feel like he does not need to be apologizing for that. So then Cliff and Christy also discussed the Cliff Notes incident because now it's out there. He knows about it. They know that he knows about it. So Christy says, they're both downplaying it. Christy says it was the right place, right time for me, wrong place, wrong time for you. And she's saying it didn't really matter. Really? Why is Cliff on the block right now? So then later, people from the Unlikable 9 start talking to Nicole again. I'm thinking it was probably because they couldn't hang out and do their bash fest upstairs anymore because it turned into a bang fest. It's like they have a freaking schedule for that HOH shower now. It's so disgusting. Jack and Sis were in there first. Holly and Jackson went after them. And then a few hours later, Nick and Bella went. It was just like, it's disgusting. Are you sanitizing this? Like, there's other people. Ugh. Oh my God. Okay. I can't. So anyway, Christy and Tommy go to see her in the RV room. And Christy's like, I never said those things. And Nicole's telling her side. She's getting emotional. She's like, Bella was telling me that everyone was against me except for her and Nick. And she's not really understanding why people believe Bella's word and not hers. For real though, I mean, the only reason I could think of is because Nick is the HOH this week. So it's basically a Bella co-HOH, right? So they're not gonna not act like they believe her. I don't know why anyone would tell Bella anything anymore, because it's just gonna come out and it's gonna be all twisted up. So of course, Tommy and Christy report back to everyone and they're all like, Kat was very sweet to Nicole. She was really comforting her a lot. Does Kat even know what's happening in the game? Sometimes I wonder. But then later, it was like midnight, Jackson was talking to Nicole and he tells her like, I wasn't mad at you and I couldn't let you in the HOH room because everybody would have annihilated you. Give me an effing break. He's trying to say that it wasn't an F you get out kind of thing. Yes, it was. The way he was like smiling about it and all excited to close the door on her and then like celebrating it with everyone, it was sick. So then Nicole starts crying on his shoulder as he comforts her. Yo, he is a shatheed. Straight up shatheed. And maybe he was just comforting her because he feels guilty for what he has done to her game with like the rogue vote and everything, and he knows that he's lying and that she was telling the truth. So then Nicole was with Kemi and Kat, and Nicole's like, you know what? It's my own fault. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. She should have just let Nicole, not Nicole, she's Nicole. She should have let Nick and Bella rot. Like I said before, okay, maybe you lose an ally or something this week. It is what it is, but I mean, somebody would come back and Cam come back, and then what are the chances that Bella's gonna win HOH next week? I mean, she could, but like with everybody else competing too. And then I'm sure the other side would want to take their shot at Nick and Bella, so like she could have stuck it out. But I think she really did think that she could have possibly been going up on the block, even though Nick told her that she wasn't, because Bella was all, oh, they're trying to get you up on the block. So I think she was feeling really unsafe at the time and really alone. Ugh, it's unfortunate. All right, so while she's talking to them, Bella is in the boat lounge with Christy, Jack, and Sam. And Bella is planning on confronting Nicole, but she wants Nicole to come to her and think that those four are just like hanging out casually in the lounge and they're supposed to like sit in on this conversation between them. So lame. So Bella sends Tommy to go get Nicole. So Tommy says to Nicole, if you're up for it, Bella wanted me to see if you wanted to chat, but if not, that's okay too. And Nicole's like, I don't think I want to, because she tried to talk to Bella earlier. She doesn't think Bella's in the right mindset to talk, because when she tried to approach her before, Bella blew her off and was all nasty to her. So she's just like, I think maybe I'll wait. But Tommy's like, no, it's okay. I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna make sure that no one treats you badly. I loved Tommy before, but like, shut up, because he was contributing so much to all the Nicole bashing and it was just gross. So then Tommy convinces, Tommy and Kat was there as well, and Kat was like, I think it could be good for you, you know, to talk to Bella. And she wasn't trying to set her up. She really was like, I think it could be good. So Nicole agrees to talk, but Bella is gonna come to her. So Tommy brings Bella to the RV room, and at this point it's just the three of them in there because Kat left to give her some privacy or whatever. So Nicole starts off by saying that she's emotional because she went to Bella in confidence. They had a heart-to-heart. They shared information with each other. And then she says, I feel like there was no need for you to go and announce all of that to the entire house. She said, I feel like that was pretty shitty and dumb. So then Bella says, okay, well, I felt the need to do that because a lot of the things that you said were not making sense. Bella says that she's got a lot of connections throughout the house and things were just not adding up. Oh, well, aren't you special? So then Bella says, I felt uneasy about it, as did Nick. So we decided the best thing to do was clear the air with everyone. So once they did bring it up to people, people got very angry. And she and Nick got very angry. And now at this point, Bella just starts like chastising and berating Nicole for like 5 minutes straight. And Nicole just lets her talk, lets her get it out, because she figures, you know what, I'm gonna let her talk and then I'm gonna get my turn to tell my side of the story, because that's what adults usually do. So Bella says, we were angry because you labeled us in such a way. I felt extremely betrayed. So I'm assuming she's upset that Nicole said that they were bullying her, which again, Holly said that. But yeah, when Bella is lying, she starts talking in incomplete sentences. Like, she cuts herself off a lot and then like tries to continue the sentence, but it's like a different sentence and it doesn't all work together. So a lot of times it doesn't make sense. But anyway, she says, the audacity of you to confide in Nick and use him and say that you share this anxiety thing and then go behind his back and try to get him nominated is just disgusting. I don't think that's fair. Whatever your strategy is, clearly it didn't work. Okay, so she's accusing Nicole of using this personal thing like anxiety and bringing it into the game and using it against someone. What did she do to Kemi? Do you guys remember when Bella was like, oh, we related on something really personal? I guess they both are victims of sexual assault, which again is awful. But then Bella is like bringing this into the game and like using it against Kemi and being like, oh, I was your friend and I'm the only one that knows your personal stuff. I don't know. It seems very hypocritical. Okay. So then Bella brings up Nicole's grandmother and she's like, you swore on your grandmother's life, and then Christy tells me that your grandmother passed away. And Nicole's like, okay, I'm gonna have to say something here. She says, I swore on my grandmother's grave. So then she could barely get that out before Bella starts talking again, and she says, you called Nick and I bullies. It's obnoxious, it's a lie. I don't know how you can look people in the eye and create something like that. I think it's disrespectful to the game. And then she's saying like, I don't need it. Given this all, a lot of us don't really feel the need to talk to you. if you want to have your one-on-one with Nick, that's fine, whatever. I don't really trust you, and I don't really want to have this conversation ever again. Yeah, because you know that you're full of shit. You don't want it to come up again. So she says, it makes me sick that two people, meaning Nicole and Kemi, I really trusted, want to throw my name in the dirt when America will see I've only said nice things. Oh my God. I am just waiting for the Bella saying mean things supercut to come out. But I'm sure it's gonna take a long time because there's a lot to go into that. So then at this point, Nicole is just like smiling because she cannot believe the lies and the bullshit that is coming out of Bella's mouth. So Bella's like, you're laughing right now. And Nicole says, yeah, because, and she's about to explain why, but Bella says, I'm not here, listen, I can't believe you're laughing right now. So Nicole says, oh, so you were just here to rant a lie at me? Yep. So Bella says, I'm done with this, you're laughing, I'm going to bed. And she just does not let Nicole speak. It's so messed up, so she leaves, and Tommy's like, I'm really sorry that you didn't get to speak. I know you wanted to do that, and it'll be better when you talk to Nick because he's not as emotional. So he says it's a step in the right direction. Get the F out of here. All right, so then Nicole is telling Tommy, this is all being filmed and my truth is gonna come out. Amen. And she's very upset that Bella brought up her grandmother. That is a low blow. So then after that, it was time for retells. Nicole tells Kemi all about it. She's like, do not bring my family into this. She says she will freaking punch Bella in the face and get kicked out of the game. And Bella tells Nick all about it. And she's like, oh, at one point Nicole was like trying to cry, and Nick says, oh, she's a master manipulator like Vanessa Russo. And then Bella's saying, oh, and she was like laughing and smiling when I was talking about her using her anxiety as a tool in the game. That's not when she was smiling, but also like, shut up. So Nick says that Nicole is a sociopath and he'll diagnose her. Fuck off. Okay, I just feel like, I don't want to get into like talking about Nick and his profession, but I just think like, I wouldn't want Nick to be my therapist. I'll just say that. I would not want Nick to be my child's therapist. I'm not saying to like contact his employer because I think it's really messed up when people do that, but like, I think he's really showing his true colors and they are not good. So anyway, then, you know, after they talk about Nicole for a long time, they take their turn in the HOH shower. Disgusting. Okay, so then Nicole stayed up pretty late venting to people, and like people in the unlikable 9. Ugh, she was talking to Holly, she was talking to Jackson, she's talking to Christy. Like, what do you do? No, don't do that. Ugh. Okay, so today, can someone please tell me why Cliff is still doing Cliff Notes? You've been caught, man, you've been caught. Luckily, nobody was listening in this morning. He was saying it was gonna be a short one, but then it went on for like a long time. But yeah, nobody was listening. So then the rest of the day, there was a lot of debate over who should go this week, Cliff or Nicole. So on one side, you've got Christy, Jack, Sis, and I would think Tommy as well, saying that Cliff should be the one to go. And Christy has said, like, maybe if she were to win POV, she might keep the nominations the same because she doesn't want to risk Nicole going. And then you've got Nick, Bella, and Sam on the other side. They all want Nicole to go. They don't want to do the others' dirty work and get rid of Cliff. And they know that Nicole's telling the truth about everything. I mean, they all know that. So they don't need her exposing all of their shit. Okay, so then in other news, Christy, Jack, and Tommy solidify their final 3 with a name. Oh, we've been waiting for this for so long. So they're calling themselves LOL, lots of love. And Christy does share with Jack that she won the Diamond Power Veto. So they're, you know, Christy was bound to tell more people at some point. There was no way that she was only going to be able to tell one person. Come on, it's Christy. So then they had the Power Veto player draw. Of course, Nick, Jess, and Cliff are already playing. And then the 3 extras are Kat, Jackson, and Christy. And what do you know? Jess got house guest choice again and made another questionable decision. This time, she picked Christy. Why wouldn't you pick Nicole? What are you doing? Like, she is still trying to get in with the big group, and it is so sad. If she had picked Nicole, Nicole could have potentially won, saved one of the nominees, and then she would have been saved too, and they would have had to have put up like Kat or something. So yeah, I don't know what Jess is thinking sometimes. I don't. But Nick and his groupies were talking lots of crap about Nicole. He continues to call her a sociopath, and at one point I think Bella was like, maybe you should chill it on that. You think? Alright, so anyway, they're waiting for the Power Veto competition. Maybe it started while I was filming this, because it's been a long time, right? Who knows? But I want to know who you guys are rooting for to win the veto. At this point, I don't even freaking know, because I don't want Nicole to go up on the block. But I also, I don't know. So let me know what you guys think. If you check back later, if it's done at a normal hour, I will put it in the info below, the winner. Sorry if there were a lot of personal rants in here, but just like, these people make me want to not watch the show anymore, and that is very upsetting because I've been watching since season 1, but they are that horrible to watch. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until tomorrow, much love.